Good morning. Today's guest on H3 TV is me. My guest had to have a last minute cancellation, and I decided I like to be consistent, and it's part of my strategic planning that I do is consistency in my business. As a professional speaker and a coach and author, it is so easy to let disruption distract you. So I wanted to share some tips with you today on how to avoid disruption distracting you. The first thing that I like to think about is this a disruption or an interruption? 9 times out of 10, the energy I give to an interruption makes it feel like a disruption, but it's actually an interruption. What I mean by that is an interruption in my routine isn't really a disruption. It's just a moment of distraction, and I should be able to get myself back on track. Some of the ways that I do that as my own boss, as a speaker and a coach is I have a schedule. I have a schedule for every day of the week. 1 or 2 things, not a strict schedule, but a schedule, 1 or 2 things that I'll do every day. So whether that's not taking phone calls, 10 to 2 personal phone calls, really being focused on my work and what I want to accomplish in that day, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2, try to avoid personal phone calls. 1. 2, every day of the week, I have what I want to post. I do not schedule posts. I know a lot of speakers do and other business owners, but for me, I want it to be authentic and timely. And I have found that sometimes when things are scheduled, there's a big disruption in the world, and that scheduled post does not align. And you can tell that it's inauthentic or that it's pre-prepared and not responding to what's happening into the world at that time. So Mondays, I do a vlog. So that's a pre-recorded video. Tuesday, I do a testimonial for an organization or an individual that I really want to highlight and celebrate. Wednesday, I do my H3 TV, which is what I'm doing here with you. Thursday, I do a written blog. And Friday, I tend to ask a favor. So this week, I had a number of interruptions. So knowing that like a messy hair day is an interruption, or hurricane, disruption, right? Being late in traffic, that's an interruption. The person that got in a car accident, that's a disruption. The messy hair, interruption, disruption, losing hair to chemo. So it's like knowing the difference, first of all, giving it the fair amount of energy without giving it too much energy. Second, it's having a schedule. Third is getting back on track. So being that I have kind of a schedule of what I want to do, work 10 to 2 focused Monday through Thursday, 9 to noon on Friday. If I miss a couple days, it's okay. When I jump back in, I get back on track. One thing I'm struggling with, 2 things actually this week, is that I didn't really rest over the weekend and it wore me out. And I feel like I'm kind of coming from a place of behind by being busy all day Saturday and all day Sunday with focused energy rather than relaxed energy is how I describe it. Plus I've got a few medical things going on, which is always an interruption to my thinking. I want to be 100% healthy and not use medication, but sometimes you need to do what you need to do. Writing a book, creating a book, getting that focus. And when I do a collaborative book, which I typically don't do, but I did that with the 3 Sides of Adoption over the last 3 months, maybe 4 months, people have been emailing me, when's that book coming out? When's that book coming out? Remember, I shared part of my story. So finally finishing that and getting it formatted and released is such a big relief. Also, when I'm juggling, I'm super excited that I have 10 speaking engagements in May, but the gearing up and being prepared for those means I need to have my office in order and have served my coaching client so that I can go launch and be fully present for my audiences. So I'm always like, what can I finish? So when you face interruption or disruption, how do you get back on track? What are your strategies to get back on track? I'm a huge opponent of lists. So I write a lot of lists for every day of the week. I kind of have a meeting with myself on Sunday night to plan all of my days. One of my clients just asked me, Annie, do you have a good work-life balance? Do you have time for fun and vacations? Absolutely. But I also have to have those focused hours so I can have fun. Like yesterday afternoon, I was able to go boating, but that's because I did a bunch of work in the morning. So when you work for yourself, it's easy to be distracted no matter what, whether you have ADHD or not. And it's easy for people that are employed by someone to not understand that even though you're home and you have free time doesn't mean you can chat for 20 minutes or an hour, because it's really time away from your earning hours, right? So you have to think of yourself as a boss. I love to use my phone and set alarms like 10 to 2 is my focus time. I love to schedule. Oh, I'm going to write for an hour on Thursdays at 2. Oh, I'm going to rest on Sunday and try not to be as active on my computer, at least. It doesn't mean I'm not active in life. I did a 2-mile walk with my dog this morning on the beach. Usually doesn't go 2 miles, but every morning having prayer time, every morning having the discipline of exercise, those consistent self-care things allows you to be your best when you work for yourself and you serve people. So what are your tips when you get interrupted or disrupted? How do you get back on track? For me, I go back to my list. For me, I go back to what is my expectation for today, even when people cancel. So it's fine. The guy that needed to cancel today, he is Catholic, and the Pope passing has juggled his schedule. I remind myself that even if I don't have a guest to interview, I can still go live, because this is part of my consistent pattern. Is Wednesdays I go live. And recently, so 3 big things this weekend. One, of course, Easter Sunday and the resurrection of Christ, such a big deal for those of us that are Christians, and even those of you that know a Christian and maybe you're not. Like, it's a big day. It's the holiest of holy days. It is what we believe and what we live by, right? And since I was young, since I was about 11, I was an altar girl when I was 11, one of the first girls. And I thought, I'm going to be a priest someday. Now, obviously, women cannot be priests today, and I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore due to the shame and rules of that religion that hurt so many people. But I am a Christian. And when I was 11, was an altar girl, and I thought, I think I'm going to be a pastor someday. And then when I started professionally speaking, one of my mentors said, you're more of a preacher than a teacher. And I said, oh, I'm a preacher, I'm a teacher, and I'm an inspirer and a motivator and an activator, and I care deeply about communication and confidence and mental health and momentum in taking care of ourselves, using medicine through laughter and movement and music and all the tools we have in front of us. But then the last 3 years, first due to the hurricane taking out so many churches, and then just due to feeling really called to preach on the beach on Sunday morning, and also filling in once a month at Beach Baptist, people have been like, that is your calling. You're meant to be a preacher. And I used to have friends say, you're going to be the next Beth Moore or Joyce Myers. Well, I don't know if that's really where I'm going, but what I do know is I love serving people. And whether that's in the corporate world or associations or nonprofit or churches, when I get the privilege of the platform, which I do consider it a privilege, I want to speak hope into people and love into people, and that they're valued and that they deserve to take care of themselves. And so I believe myself and another woman, we are starting to create a women's one-day retreat. So far, we have 3 places we're considering going. Well, 4, I guess. One is Green Bay, Wisconsin, or Appleton, Wisconsin. 2 is Southern Illinois, kind of on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois. 3 is Decatur, Iowa. Is that what it is? Somewhere in Iowa. And the 4th is Orlando. And so we're going to do a full day women's retreat and call it a faith lift, not a facelift, a faith lift, because people are feeling beaten down and ashamed of their faith, or like they can't be confidently open about what they believe. And so we just want to pour into women. We're going to share stories, laughter, inspiration, encouragement. If you have somewhere that you want us to come present, let us know, and we'd love to talk to you about that. We're thinking we're going to start in churches or women's organizations. We also think it's going to be kind of we're going to do it as part of our business, but we're also going to do it as a give back to the communities, to different women's organizations there. So if you know someone, that it will be faith-based, and it will be uplifting and funny and encouraging and real and raw and just healing for people, let us know if you want that. But all that to say that sometimes I feel called in many directions, right? Whether it's as a writer to finish my book, or whether it's as a speaker to travel and speak, or whether it is to preach, or whether it is to be super mom and ask for your vote. I made it to round 2, but I think there's like 7 rounds. And I believe I'm in 3rd place in my group, but there's 4,608 groups. So if you get a minute to vote, that'd be amazing. It's a free vote. You can do it every day. And I appreciate every vote. And I see every vote that comes through. So thank you to those of you that have voted and supported me and cheered me on in that. I do tend to juggle a number of things, but people say to me, Annie, you're so busy. And I think I'm not busy, I'm full. And I've always wanted a fulfilling plate of meaningful work. And I think I have created that in my life with the balance of time to go boating and time to go to movies and times to walk to the beach. So it's that balance. And I do believe we all need a Sunday, a Sabbath to rest. And when you have a full weekend, you have to create that during the week, right? Find one day a week that you read, that you slow down, that you rest, and that you rejuvenate and prepare for what's next so you can bring your best. So I don't feel busy. I feel like my plate is full, but it's full of really beautiful, meaningful work. And whether that's speaking or facilitating a retreat or a DISC assessment group for managers, for leaders, whether that's writing a book, whether that's running for the Supermom contest, my favorite title of all, my kids know that. I love all my titles, but I love being a mom the most. I've always wanted to be a mom, so I'm so grateful to be a mom. Hopefully someday I'll be a grandma, but I'm good for 3 or 4 years to wait on that. Anyway, today I just want to encourage you. Life's going to have interruptions. It's going to have disruptions. It's going to get full. It might even get busy. How do you get back on track? In particular, I'm speaking today to entrepreneurs and solo business owners. You have to have a plan, a strategy, and a system and a process to get back to when life gets overwhelming, because you can start to derail and you can go 3-4 days without producing or without connecting, and it will really affect your business, maybe weeks, months later. So you have to figure out how to get back on track. And I think back to when the hurricane hit, I was off track. I was overwhelmed. And what did I do? I started writing. I started doing YouTube lives, just one little thing a day, one little thing to reconnect with my community so that I could feel like I was moving forward. So I'd love to hear in your chat, in the comments today, how do you get back on track after you faced an interruption, a disruption, somebody cancels on you, things don't work out, you don't get that down day, you are traveling. How do you stay on track with your systems, and what are they? Please share in the chat. I'm Annie Meehan, keynote speaker, executive coach, and author of now 11 books. It is a miracle. I have dyslexia, and if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. Won't be easy. Promise, won't be easy, but it'll be worth it. And if you help 1 or 2 people every day, it will change your life and it will help you so much. So please don't let the interruptions and disruptions of your life deter you or define you. Instead, soar above. I'm Annie. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Is think about how we can support people, and that it's okay to say no, but also I'll be your accountability partner, but all I can give you is a text every other Tuesday. I can't walk with you twice a week. My plate is full too. It is more respectful to say, I'm sorry I can't, than to say yes and set someone up to fail. Does that make sense? All right. I want you to think about health. Next time someone says, are you healthy? I want you to think about all 7 of these areas, not just my physical health, not just a number on the scale, because I never helped the thousands of clients I worked with lose weight because I didn't care about a number on a scale, but I helped clients change their habits, change their self-talk, and a side effect was weight loss. I helped them get their finances and their relationships in order. I helped them with what they said about themselves to themselves, and it changed everything. But my favorite area of your hearts is happiness. And so what I'd like you to do is think about what makes you happy. And you can write it in that heart or write it in the back. I love for you to come up with at least 10 things that make you happy, from rainbows to sunshine, from fresh baked cookies to cuddles with puppies, whatever it is that brings you happiness.